guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Plant Medicine, Cannabis, Psychedelics, and Pharmaceutics. So excited to have you back with me today. And I am super stoked to have our guest today. He is an amazing man doing great work in the plant medicine space. But before we get to our guest today, I am going to, you guys know what's up. You guys know what the deal is. We got to do our good house cleaning. So what is our good house cleaning? First of all, this show is for educational purpose and should not be taken as medical advice. Consult with your clinician, with your healthcare provider for all your medical needs. Do not start or stop any medicine without talking to your doctor. And that is our first good house cleaning. Yeah, folks. What is the second good house cleaning that we got for you? Our second good house cleaning is our sponsor, you. Yes, you right there. This show is sponsored by WCI Health. They are alternative health and wellness hub. They are the makers of glows and glows product, beauty products. For all your need, glows is a CBD-based cosmetics, and they also have all kind of other cool stuff. They have master classes, some plant medicine, cannabis as medicine masterclass. There is also Dr. O's book, A Pharmacist's Guide to Cannabis, Perspective of a Non-Conforming Clinician. If you are yet to grab your copy, head straight to their website, wci-health.com. Other than that, what else is there to talk about? Yes, you. Thank you so much. You are sponsored. Those of you that are sponsoring us on Apple Podcasts, on Patreon, on Spotify, we want to say thank you to you guys so much. Without you, we can't even bring this show to us. If you are yet to join our Patreon group or our sponsor, please head straight to the website, wci-health.com, and join our tribe, join our group, join our village. It's going to take a whole village to take this message to the masses, and we need you. Dr. O needs you, so come on board and join us. Other than that, for those of you that are just joining the show, it's your first time listening to this show, and you are wondering, who the heck is she? What gives her an authority to talk on this stuff? Yes, I am Dr. Lola. I'm also known as Dr. O. I'm the founder of WCI Health, your alternative health and wellness hub. I personally help you and healthcare professional, dispensary, plant curious, plant medicine lover like you understand the health benefits of plant medicine so that you can live your best life right here and now, doing what you love and saving money on healthcare costs. I mean, the cost of healthcare is insane. It's gone through the roof. Are you kidding me right now? So I am here to help you level up on your wellness journey using education as tools. And also, I was born in western part of Africa. Growing up, I used plant medicine, medicinal herb. That was our first line of therapy. So I'm bringing that knowledge as well as my clinical background as a clinician to help you level up on your journey. That is what's up. Other than that, what else have we got to talk about? Yes, we have this podcast. Apart from this podcast, we also have Clubhouse where we talk about everything cannabis psychedelic club. So you want to join us on Clubhouse and Cannabis Psychedelic Club, and you can find me on Clubhouse at Cannabis Doctor. Other than that, check us out. Profile, bio, that's where good stuff happens. So you want to check us out on the website, wci-health.com, or on IG, WCI Health 19. If you need any other information, head straight to the profile, head straight to bio. That's where good stuff happens. Yeah, that's about me. Guys, it's awesome. I am so super stoked. Like I said, our guest today is somebody really special in the plant medicine space. I have with me today Levi Barker of Iboga Wellness Center from Costa Rica with us. Levi is a Bwiti Iboga Provider. I know you guys are like, okay, what is Bwiti? We're gonna get to that. And what is Iboga? We are going to be breaking everything down for you today. But let me just go ahead and introduce Levi. Levi is Iboga Bwiti Iboga Provider of Iboga Wellness Center out of Costa Rica. The Iboga Wellness Center is the oldest psycho-spiritual healing retreat in the whole of the Western Hemisphere. So basically, they've been around for a while, helping folks to navigate their wellness journey using the Bwiti uh, protocol in their wellness. Other than that, Iboga is, people are going to Iboga Wellness Center. Part of why folks are going to Iboga Wellness Center for their wellness is because of the healthcare costs. Apart from that, we have opioid addiction. The opioid epidemic is like insane. Average of 90, at least 90 folks die daily from opioid overdose. That's our folks. That's our brothers and sisters. That is our family members. So it's unacceptable. Apart from opioid, the folks are also going down there for management of their anxiety, depression, all kind of stuff that they are using this plant called Iboga to manage. And today we're going to be learning a lot from Levi. Thank you so much, Levi, for being here. We are so glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Levi. And tell us a little bit about yourself and also about Iboga Wellness Center.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for having me. Honor to be here with your listeners. Imagine they're pretty savvy bunch listening to you. But yeah, my name's Levi Barker. Like you said, I'm an Iboga provider at Iboga Wellness Center in Costa Rica. And so, as far as I'm aware of, Iboga is the most special plant in the world. It can heal many things. And, really what's very special about it is Iboga at its core teaches one about themselves and their life and how to operate here on planet Earth. And so when you mentioned Bwiti, essentially a Bwiti is somebody that uses Iboga to study life. And, I've been initiated into this Bwiti, very, very old tradition, but I'm not from Africa. And, and so the Bwiti is really for everybody. You would have to kind of be invited in, or at least go searching to, be initiated into the Bwiti. And so I was, I found Iboga before Bwiti. So I was, how I found Iboga, I was a long-term opiate addict, like you were mentioning a few minutes ago. And that's crazy numbers you mentioned. That's like half of all the people that die from COVID every year. And that's been happening, the last 15, 18 years or so. And so, yeah, I was one of the first generation of opiate addicts when doctors really started prescribing them a lot. And long story short, got addicted, eventually moved to harder opiates and more of them. And for a little bit, it's okay. But then it really consumes your life, because if you don't have opiates, you're just not going to be able to function. And so eventually I found Iboga through a really good friend of mine. And for those that don't know, Iboga is the only thing that'll take away a majority of the physical symptoms of opiate withdrawal. Even with everything we know today, there's nothing out there that will subside the physical withdrawal from opiates. And so Iboga is known as a tool for moving past addictions, both substance and non-substance addictions. It really is kind of the ultimate bad habit breaker. And when you take that, like I mentioned, going through a detox, the withdrawal symptoms subside, and then from 3, 5, maybe 6 days later, you're able to come back around. Eventually you get some sleep, and then come out the other side, and you're no longer physically dependent on drugs anymore. And so it's the only thing that can do that. But it's also really good for all of these other human problems. Physically, we're very careful about what we would tell people it would heal physically, and really don't, guarantee anything, because it really works different on a lot of people. But from doing a lot of this work, it's very good for neurological problems, things like Lyme and neuropathy, and also with like MS symptoms. It's really good for things like arthritis, tendon pain, joint pain, just general pain in the body. It's really good for, and it's very good on the mind. And, both our mind and our brain, like physically cleans and kind of restarts the brain back up. And then mentally, we go through all our lives taking in every moment of our life, and some part of it gets ingrained inside of us, and we take that experience in, and it, unless we're really disciplined, it's hard to kind of create this space in there needed to put other good things in. And so Iboga very much cleans out like the mental garbage that we don't need anymore, and really creates a lot of space in the mind, which is especially people that grew up in the West, we kind of learn to operate fully from the mind, and it's just not the way to do it. So Iboga, people come to Iboga Wellness, a big portion for depression, anxiety, PTSD, or some sort of trauma. Some people come, have those symptoms, but have recently gotten off some sort of substances. So currently here, we don't do acute detox work. So everybody coming in, if they're coming, is coming in clean, or there's some medications, you can have with Iboga.
Yeah.
And so, but a lot of people do have to stop, SSRIs. And so, people come through depression, trauma, a reset in life, and just looking for, the way forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is really, really good. Thank you for going into details about Iboga. Tell us, you said you are Bwiti Iboga Provider. When you say you were initiated into their tradition, did you actually travel to to Central Africa? I know Bwiti is in Central Africa, Central West Africa. Did you travel down there for this to learn about this plant?
Yeah, I did, but prior to that, my teacher, who's a 10th generation Bwiti shaman, grew up in the lineage. He had started an Iboga retreat. It's probably been 13, 14 years ago now, but he had a spot called Iboga House. So I ended up meeting him. I was living in Central America at the time, and I ended up meeting him, and we became friends, and eventually it led to me starting to train with him. So I had worked with the medicine for quite a while before making it to Gabon, where his village is at, and where the initiations take place. And you really do need a whole village, or large group of people to make an initiation happen. And so that's why they didn't happen, say, at Iboga House in Costa Rica, because it was just him and some staff and trainees like myself at the time. And so I was around the medicine, did a lot of retreats for people at the Iboga House over 5 years or so. And then the first student to graduate under our teacher Maginda is named Gary Cook, and he actually started Iboga Wellness. And so I came to work with Gary, and then made it to Africa. I think the first time was in 2017, and had my first initiation. And whenever I was there in Africa, I got the blessing to serve the medicine from Maginda. And so being initiated and being, say, an Iboga provider are two different things. And so, but yeah, I did both of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is really, really, I mean, you are basically not just practicing the wellness, you were actually indoctrinated into this culture. When you travel to Africa to get indoctrinated, to get into this culture, how did the people, I know I'm from western part of Africa. I'm from originally from Nigeria. And I know the African people, they are very hospitable people. They love to welcome folks into their home and all that. But when it comes to their tradition, these are really, really sacred ceremony. These are really sacred practice. How did they accept you into that sacredness of this culture, into sacredness of this working with this plant? Was there any pushback, especially as a Caucasian man? How did they accept you into that culture?
Yeah, no, they're very, very accommodating. So, our teacher there is kind of the head shaman for a lot of people. So, with him inviting us in, they're definitely all open arms. It can get tough not speaking French, but yeah, no, they, like you said, very hospitable. They want to, if there's something to be picked up and they see you going to pick it up, they'll pick it up for you first, and you know go and just help you however you can. So no, it's really beautiful. And also during ceremony, essentially, like during these ceremonies, it's just a build up of this very sacred energy or sacred spirit that's getting built up through ceremony, so they can then give it to you, so that when you leave, you leave with those blessings. And so that one's really, really special, because yeah, once you've had some of that, yeah, life is better. It's you've been given something very sacred. So yeah, no, we really, uh, really enjoy being there.
Yeah, yeah, that's excellent. Let me ask you, when we talk about Iboga, our audience, some of them probably thinking, what in the world is Iboga? Can you really tell us what part of the plant is Iboga? I've read about Ibogaine and Iboga. What is the difference between Ibogaine and Iboga? And also, if you want to combine it, what makes them different from other psychedelics like DMT, ayahuasca, and all those other psychedelic plants?
Yeah, if I kind of cut out for a sec, if what makes Iboga different than the other plant medicines?
Psychedelic plant.
Yep, psychedelic. Um, so each substance, or master plant teacher, have their own properties. Some are to take you out further, connect you with the cosmos. The properties that are unique to Iboga is once again, like, it really makes you take a deep look at your life, and a very truthful look, and where you can see clearly what's happening in one's life. And within that, it's definitely going to give you some directions on things, if things are needed, things that need to change, things that you need to start doing or stop doing, you know basically giving you this wisdom for you to be able to, move past whatever it is you're coming to Iboga. And so, yeah, the way that it's really grounded here on earth, it's very earth-based medicine. The Bwiti is a very earth-based tradition because that's where we live. That's what's happening. We're humans right now here. So it's a very present medicine. If there is things to get over from the past, it can allow you to process them, fully understand them, accept them, and then move forward. And so, yeah, the way that it just deals with people's lives, a lot of people want to know about the cosmos and how we all got here, and but it's the way we look at it in the Bwiti, anyways, is there's a difference between things that come from the creator and things that come from us humans. And, we're just not fully meant to understand, the ways of the creator and how everything came to be, because that's just a, bigger force. But, it really deals with being, living life here on earth, which is, what many people need. It's kind of like going to school for life, doing Iboga and working the actual tradition.
Thank you so much, Levi, for that. Yeah, I totally agree with you. There are some things, this world is created for purpose, and we just have to, we just have to chill our ego sometimes and realize that sometimes we are not supposed to know everything. We are not God, even though sometimes we think we are. We might not be, so we can't really explain some of these things. I want to talk about, move a little bit to this. I know you are more a shaman. You work, like you said earlier, this plant is earth-based, but I want to go into, I have heard out there about folks talking about taking the mysticism out of these psychedelics, taking the synthetic psychedelics and taking all this part that make it hallucinogen out of the whole process. What is your take on that? Especially when you are looking at when you look at this, you as a Bwiti provider, and you look at the intention of these indigenous people, what do you think about us now trying to tweak and take mysticism out of this plant?
Yeah, one thing I should say, my teacher listened, I should say we don't call ourselves shaman, like people like myself that have graduated to serve the medicine. It's definitely a shamanic retreat, but we just kind of reserve that for something or for someone like our teacher that grew up in it and spent their whole life doing it. And I'm sorry, I missed the first part of the question again. Can you repeat the first part?
What I was asking is that, I was reading recently that the scientists are working on trying to separate what makes it the mysticism, the hallucinogenic part of the plant. And folks, when you're hearing about the hallucinogenic, that part of the plant that take us to the trip. When we take this plant, we go into a deeper self, that part of the plant that take us to that deeper self. They are talking about taking it. That's the best way I can explain mysticism. Taking that part of it out of the plant and just taking out the chemical that is physically helping people to manage their condition. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'll share. And I would really like to hear your opinion on this too, as you're, kind of in both worlds of that.
Yeah.
As far as I see it and we look at it in the Bwiti, within nature, there's, tools for us humans to be able to, learn about ourselves, our life, to heal us physically. And so there's keys within nature. And so whenever you go and take, say, the soul or the, critical elements of the plant out of it, you're essentially removing those gifts from nature that were created there for us. And so for the people taking it, I think it's people that are using it, say, for substances, are doing it to mask some sort of pain or get away from themselves in some way. And I feel that the confrontation that one needs with themselves to really move forward from something like an addiction is just a key part of it. And so it could, physiologically fill up some of the receptors, and take away some of the cravings that people have, but that's not going to be enough long term. People have to really, within the Iboga experience, if there's some way that you're hurting yourself really badly, at some point you're going to have the chance to make a commitment with yourself to not do it anymore. And so if you're not presented with something like that, or the opportunity to really understand like where this comes from, or at the very least a deep download on like, I'm just going to move forward and not going to hurt myself anymore, you take that out of it, and I don't think it's going to work nearly as well. Although I do understand it, and if it helps some people, that's great, but you're just not going to top nature.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, but Levi, about we cannot, I always tell folks, we cannot, nature is perfect. Nature is done, finished. We have synthetic cannabinoid like dronabinol that we use for managing nausea in chemo patients. And it's when you compare it to the conventional, to the whole spectrum of cannabis, it's like a night and day, coupled with the fact that it's expensive. My take personally, when we are talking about taking mysticism out of the plants, I just think we should uh, tread lightly on that aspect of things, because you remember when we look at opioid addiction, we had morphine, we had endorphin, then suddenly we started modifying all these agents, adding all kind of stuff to it. And I understand, we need to develop new agents. For when I'm saying agents, I'm talking about the medicine. We need to develop new product for people to manage, but we also have to respect nature and just be careful so that we don't end up like we have with the opioid addiction and all that. That's just my my part in that aspect of it. I mean, we don't even know which part of the plant is actually doing the work. You get what I'm saying? We don't really know. We are still learning a lot about this plant. So if we say, oh, we're going to take some part out, how are we sure the part we are taking out is not the part that is also helping? And I'd see it as in part of what we call entourage effect. We use that term with cannabis a lot, but all plants, they have entourage effect. There are so many chemicals in there. So it's a combination of these chemicals that is working together, including the spirit of the plant. Thank you, Levi, for that. Other than, I want to ask you, what are who are the candidates? Who are the people that you generally see in your practice that comes in?
So, I would say at least a third, maybe even 40% are coming through for some sort of depression, anxiety, or some sort of trauma. kind of included within that group too, or maybe, some people that recently want to get off, like say SSRI medication. Surprisingly, there's a big percentage of people that come through, like some older people, 60, even in their 70s, come and they've never had marijuana, they've never done any other drug, and they're coming to do Iboga. So that's always pretty cool when that happens. And good chunk are people that, you don't necessarily have to have, this terrible life to benefit from Iboga. And so some people come in, just looking for a reset, kind of feeling stuck and like wanting to connect back with themselves and just, get kind of reinvigorated with life. But yeah, any sort of, like I mentioned, we don't do acute detox for people that are, say, coming off opiates. We recommend that they go to a spot in Mexico where we direct people to that are looking to do acute detox work. And so, yeah, any sort of addiction, non-substance addiction, so we get quite a few people overeating, or, I know we've had a kleptomaniac here at one point. I remember when she told me too, she's like, yeah, I'm a kleptomaniac. Like, all right, take inventory of everything. Yeah, but all the depression, I mean, a big one that comes up, unfortunately, is sexual trauma, both male and female, or abusive parents are a big one. People with like really deep ingrained belief systems that just aren't healthy for themselves. Like somehow they've grown up, no matter how hard they work, they're just not good enough. And like, they just never feel sufficient. They haven't learned to love themselves yet. And
Yeah.
so, definitely a good chunk of those people too. But yeah, people from all over the world. So we've even had a couple people come from Africa, which we thought was surprising. They're
Yeah.
so close to the,
To them.
to the home, to the home of the medicine. But so yeah, no, it's beautiful to see. We've had, I'm not sure how many countries, but quite a few countries pass through at some point. And they're always really special retreats, because here currently we do groups of 5 or 6 people. And
Okay.
so, it's really intimate and everybody kind of has a chance to bond. It's not such a huge group. And so, yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So for some folks, like somebody like me, I'm not on any major medication. So that might not have any major ailment per se that they are trying to work with, maybe like a depression or alcoholism or anything like those things we put names on, but that might want to have this experience and maybe dig deep into their inners. I tell folks, all of us, even though we might say, oh, we don't have any trauma, we all have gone through trauma in our lives. We human, we have been exposed to so much, and a lot of us have different ways of coping with those traumas. So for somebody that might not have the uh, uh, classical definition of ailment, but you want to connect with your inner self, will you advise somebody to go through the Iboga ceremony?
Yeah, no, I would, as long as they're called to do it, and it's their decision, of course. And when people say they want to come, I mean, I definitely try and make sure they really want it for themselves. It's not somebody else, a husband or a wife or friend or family kind of directing them to come. Just really making sure it's their direction. But if you're called to this medicine, I mean, typically when people get the message that, there's something in Iboga for them, there's something there for them, it'll kind of keep poking its head up over a period of time. And, some people that may be years. I know there's been people been in touch with for 4 or 5 years, and, every year and a half or so, kind of consider coming and don't quite get there. But once they do eventually come there, they all say, I don't know why I waited so long. And so, yeah, no, it's for everybody. I would think of it as a general just life advancement tool. Like if you want to advance in life, Iboga can certainly do that. With that said, Iboga is not a pleasant process typically. It can be beautiful and beautiful things can happen and you can be shown many wonderful things. Um, but it cleans you on all three levels. And so it's a very deep physical cleanse on one level. It keeps you up all through the night. So whenever you have Iboga, at least here, we do it during the night. We have the medicine, we stay up all night, wake up in the morning, get people back to the rooms for some alone time. And the medicine is still going. So there's a period of time where you're not sleeping, typically, 20 hours or so. And, and during that time, you can think everything that anyone could ever think from every angle. And it just goes through and, it really clears out the mind that way. And yeah, it can get long and physically taxing. And then typically 95% of cases, once people wake up, they feel the lightness, they feel, calmness in their mind. They notice themselves giving themselves space before they make decisions or even, which thoughts they're going to agree to take in. And so, yeah, things kind of shift afterwards. The experience itself can go many different directions, but kind of the end result is pretty consistent for people.
Yeah, that's coming to the fact that Iboga is not it's not like a bed of roses and stuff. I was going through the literature on it, and I came across the part that it was talking about that it has this process that it can affect the heart. It have what we call QT elongation. Basically, it can extend the rhythms of the heart a little bit. And how do you guys deal with that? Do you screen people that have heart condition? How do you deal with that aspect of the plant, that aspect that is not that bed of roses part of it?
Yeah, so we do have a thorough medical questionnaire, and we do require everybody to get an electrocardiogram at some point. So they can either do that near their home, or if they're not aware of any major heart issues, they're welcome to get it here. And so we have a doctor that comes over and does a checkup and does an EKG for everyone. And so, yeah, that is something to look out for. And there's some medications, that combined with Iboga can really extend the QT interval. But in general, unless you have some pretty major heart issues and you're just relatively healthy, you should be fine for Iboga. But yeah, get the EKG to make sure. And, over the last 6 years or so, during our psychospiritual retreats, we haven't had to deny anybody that's come here and got their EKG. There's been maybe one or two people that have sent it in, and we just said, hey, it's not the right time. So yeah, people know they don't have any heart issues. It's safe, and you can it's actually very healthy. It definitely ups the immune system. There's the pain relieving properties and stiffness, and people come in with different pains. And you can physically see the difference on people. They just look much healthier. Most of them look younger, actually. Some people go back home and, their family is asking them, if they got like Botox or, what happened. And so, yeah, people definitely look younger. So, yeah, it's a very, very, very healthy thing. And it definitely gives you a lot of stamina moving forward, which Iboga still is to this day a hunter's medicine. So in small amounts, it definitely gives you energy and gives you a lot of endurance to go, hiking all day, or say if you are hunting, go walking all day or through the night. And so there's part of that you take with you, some endurance.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Levi, for that, for answering that question.
Yeah.
My other comment is on the fact that right now, with all these amazing things that that this plant is doing, is still in the Schedule 1 here in United States. Definitely, for you to be able to work with it in Costa Rica, I'm sure they are not seeing it as a scheduled drug. What is the rules? What is the law? How does the government of Costa Rica, how do they accept you people as a practitioner out there?
Yes. So luckily, Peru's a lot bigger plant medicine hotspot. West Central Africa, mainly Gabon, is getting more popular, but it's quite a larger trip for people from, say, the States. And luckily, Costa Rica has been welcoming to different plant medicine centers. And so there's the first person to get like medically, or the first retreat to get medically licensed, is a spot called Rhythmia up in northern Guanacaste. And so, yeah, with ayahuasca, San Pedro, Iboga, they're all kind of unclassified drugs, so they're not really legal. They're not illegal. So what you can't do is, talk about curing. These are purely spiritual retreats that we have here, and they're not therapy. Per se, we can't tell people we're doing therapy. But overall, Costa Rica is pretty happy with it. I mean, they know they're getting known as a plant medicine hotspot, and it's bringing in a lot of revenue for them, and tax revenue. So yeah, they're definitely accepting of it, which is really beautiful. But yeah, in the States, I don't think that would ever happen. If you read on the internet about Iboga, and I actually want to ask about your opinion, kind of when you started looking into Iboga. If you read about Iboga, you hear about just how dangerous it is, and it's the worst experience ever, and really extreme things, when there really isn't the case. It can be hard, but it's for you don't hear about all the successes. But yeah, how was it? When you started learning about Iboga, what were kind of your your perception of things?
Yeah, I mean, that is why we need people like you, Levi, to come out here and tell folks, because medicine, there's no medicine that doesn't have side effect. Conventional medicine, anything, it's all in the dosing. It's all in the quantity that you take. It's all in your route of administration. Even water. If we drink too much water, it can be bad for us. But sometimes, even I want to even go as far as uh, news media, press, they like sensation. Things that will, I mean, we are not downplaying the fact when we talk about QT prolongation or anything that has to do with heart, that is a major issue that we have to be aware of. But overall, I tell people, a lot of these plants, our forefathers have been using it for long. So personally, I just believe we should be able to screen people. And after we screen them, we should give people opportunity to try this medicine, especially the fact that healthcare cost is like crazy through the roof. I grew up with herbal medicine, so I don't have any negative connotation at all. The only thing that I have when it comes to herb is that it doesn't taste good most of the time. Other than that, yeah. You have a follow-up question, Levi?
Yeah, did you coming from Nigeria, were you is there any other I'm sure there is, especially in Nigeria. There's so many different groups. But is there any other kind of psychedelic or kind of plant teacher plants that were used, from your home?
For me, I grew up, my house, we had mango tree. We have different plants in our home that we use for malaria, like mango in particular. Growing up as a little girl, they don't even need to teach you this thing. You just see your family using it and you just generally know. It's just like cooking. They don't really sit you down and say, this is how much salt you need to put or how much pepper. You just know because you see them doing it. So growing up, we used to use a mango tree, the leaves, the bark, and we will brew it together like just the way they do this, the Bwiti folks do. And you will drink it for malaria. You have lemongrass, you have the bark of it. Like from understanding the way Iboga work is the root and the bark of the Iboga plant. That's really where the magic is. That's the same we use that. Other than that, there are some plants like cannabis that just like the lies that was spread all over the world was spread there too. So they will tell you this is drug, don't mess with it. But at the same time, when you been around this plant, you see that these are really, really nature's gift to us. And the other way is that they practice wellness when it comes to the psychedelic or those spirit plants, is that they have herbalists. They call them babalawo, that people will consult, just like they do the Bwitian folks. They will consult with this herbalist, and this herbalist, they don't just, it's not like every ailment that you can just go to the open market and buy plants. There are some you can do that. You go to open market and buy the plant yourself. But there are some conditions that they have to actually consult with the spirit. They will speak with the spirit. The spirit will tell them what they need to do, what they need to get, the rituals they need to do. So that is really how that works. So I might not know the specific name, but Gabon it's not that far from Nigeria. They are central western part of Africa. So they all do it. It's just that people like you coming into the space now, we are beginning to give names to it. And sometimes I see some of the plants, I'm like, I used to see grow up, I see my family use these plants. I didn't even know this is what they call them. It's really a great time. It's a great time we are in.
Interesting. That's cool on the malaria. So the bark of the mango leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and lemongrass, you said?
Yeah, lemongrass. Yeah, even just the mango tree, the tree. When you take the leaf and you cut off the bark, uh, the bark of the tree, you put it together and you boil it. See, until I became a pharmacist, that it dawned on me that is actually the hydroquinone that is in the plants in the mango tree
Oh,
that
wow.
our fathers were using. And that is the main pharmaceuticals that we give you if you are traveling you've been to Africa. If you are traveling there, we're going to give you quinine sulfate for malaria. And that is the active ingredient that is in the mango tree. So just like you have serotonin in the psychedelic, like the Iboga. Iboga is a serotonin based plant. Just like you have that serotonin as the active compound, so quinine is what we have in the mango. So it's awesome. These are medicine.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I had malaria once going to Africa, and I wish I would have known that.
Yeah, I'm sure the Bwitian, they do know that. Yeah, I mean, up till now, this is something that I even do myself, you know. Other than that, that's cool. So I want to be respectful of your time, Levi. Tell us
Okay.
a little bit for our audience that would like to work with you. Tell us a little bit about Iboga Wellness Center, uh, and how long the process is, how can our audience, if they want to work with you, how can they do that?
Yeah. So, our website is ibogawellness.com. And so we're located in the southwest zone of Costa Rica, which is definitely regarded by many to be the most beautiful area of Costa Rica. And we're here on 4 acres. We have a lot of really great fruit trees and garden that the clients that come help us harvest and plant. And we there's hiking trails here. And the main retreat house is 9 bedrooms, but we keep it to 5 or 6 guests, as well as a couple of staff that are always in the house. And then there's a house maybe 60 meters away where my wife and my daughter live. And so I'm on the property as well. And so people come here for a week. They have the medicine twice, which is enough for a lifetime for many. It's just a very deep week. We counsel people a lot, get to know them, what they want from the experience, and help guide them throughout the week to really get what they want. And so, but the main teacher is the Iboga. So it's kind of a happy medium of, Western comfort and having the medicine. Here you get to lay down on a mattress. If you were in Africa, you'd be sitting up all night. Thank you. Lay down and kind of go into yourself deeper. You have an eye mask, and we're doing shamanic things and cleansings, and there's something we do called a guided journey, which is to guide someone into themselves, to meet their own soul or their higher self, and get questions answered or any information they want to know. And so we do that with people, which can be pretty profound with some people, connecting with the truth that's already inside of them. It's a really powerful exercise. And we also do a spiritual shower ceremony, which is another beautiful ceremony that doesn't involve Iboga, down at a nearby river, which is another Bwiti ritual, which really works and feels good afterwards. And we go to the beach a couple of times while people are here. We have a picnic one of the days at the beach. We have several fires, integration circles. It's just a really beautiful, supportive place to get the work done. And thankfully, we've had very consistent, just positive results. One thing this medicine doesn't do is make things worse. Somebody comes for themselves, it's gonna improve their life, guaranteed. And so it's really an honor to be able to serve this medicine and work with it. I still remind myself as often as possible how fortunate I am to be able to work with this medicine and honor the medicine, and deepen my own relationship with it. I haven't had any big doses of Iboga in a while, but we definitely take bits during ceremony here with clients. And it's a powerful teacher that in the Bwiti doesn't have any end to it, which is really beautiful. Like, you keep learning about yourself, keep learning about life, connecting with nature, being able to, when you connect with nature, there's definitely guidance there for you if you're listening and looking. And so, it's a really beautiful path. And I look forward to sharing it with as many people as possible. It's just such a positive thing that people need in their lives. And I hope it continues to grow from us and affects, the people that come here and their families. And the Bwiti path at its core is very simple and direct, which is very powerful for a lot of people to be able to just really simplify things, simplify it, the human experience, the things we all have to deal with, our emotions, our own mind, what we tell ourselves, belief systems, decisions, what we do with our feelings. And so there's a Bwiti kind of teaching for nearly, as far as I'm aware, pretty much all of the human experience. There's some tool you can go back to, and that those tools, those lessons come from the medicine itself. So people during their time with the medicine are able to confirm those things as the truth for themselves, these different Bwiti teachings. And once they know the truth and it's deep inside of them, as things in life come up, they have different tools to go to know how to navigate it. And, unfortunately, growing up, at least here in the West, I'm from California originally, we didn't get taught a lot about how to know who we are, how to manage our own mind, the decision-making process. What do you do with your feelings? And so we just kind of grind it through and can learn some from our parents, and some parents are great and some just aren't so good at it themselves. And so, it's something, you can think of coming here is to learn how to live, the art of living, as we say in the Bwiti, the art of living.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is really an honor to not for you to, you said it's an honor to work with the plant. It is an honor for us to have you in this space doing this amazing work that you are doing. We are very, very honored to have you. And like you said, it's like you are just a vessel that the plant is using to communicate to the people. Thank you so much, Levi,
Yeah, thank
for
you.
being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, folks. That is, and we're gonna put all your information in the show notes when we publish this episode. We definitely gonna. I'll definitely need to come to Costa Rica and
Yeah.
hang out with you guys and get to work. I've never worked with this plant and get to work with this plant. We are very honored to have you, Levi, and thank you so much for being here. Folks, that's our show for today. Remember, if you are yet to join our Patreon group or support this show, feel free to join us. And also, when you are listening to this show, don't just listen, share it with your friends. Share it and comment, leave a comment. We need you to leave a comment. That's how we get evaluated. And until next time, guys, remember health equals wealth. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for being here.